This week on Geek Crash Course, we're covering the iconic monster, Frankenstein.
I'm Michael Nixon.
I'm Diana DeKilo, and this is Geek Crash Course.
The novel Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus, was written by Mary Shelley and was originally published in 1818.
Frankenstein's monster, otherwise called the Creature, is one of the most iconic fictional monsters, having been alive now for almost 200 years.
By the way, audiences began referring to the monster as Frankenstein and not Frankenstein's monster. Technically, the book never names the monster, but it certainly never calls him Frankenstein. Mary Shelley, her husband Percy, Lord Byron, and John Polidori decided to have a competition to see who could write the best horror story. Frankenstein was Mary Shelley's submission to their contest. The book follows Victor Frankenstein, who was interested in the bizarre as a child. He reveals he's found a way to bring life to an inanimate body. The body he builds isn't specifically described, although he says he took to the dissecting room and the slaughterhouse for materials for the body.
Getting creepier, we can assume that Frankenstein's monster was not made entirely of human components. Once the monster comes to life, it's incredibly disgusting, and Dr. Frank freaks out because he's never considered the moral implications of playing God.
He runs away, essentially leaving the monster to wander about. After an illness and a lot of self-reflection, Dr. Frankenstein comes to the conclusion that his monster killed his brother and sets out to take it down. He attempts to, unsuccessfully, attack the monster.
The monster turns out to be intelligent and self-aware. It's articulate, it's read books, and it's been observing a family living in a secluded cottage. He attempts to approach the family, but they were, understandably, completely mortified by being approached by a sewn-together monster man and ran away.
He gets angry about this and torches their house, which is where his monster reputation is earned. The monster repeatedly tries to interact with people, being hideous and stronger than he realizes, tends to scare the crap out of them, and does, in fact, accidentally kill Dr. Frankenstein's brother.
Feeling lonely, he then demands that Dr. Frankenstein make him a lady monster to hang out with. Dr. Frankenstein starts to make him a lady friend, but is worried that once she's created, they'll have lots of little baby monsters who will terrorize the world.
He could have just not put the baby-making parts in the lady monster, but being a genius super scientist, clearly didn't think it through. Anyway, he scraps the project, which doesn't make the monster terribly happy, so he gets his revenge by attempting to frame Dr. Frankenstein for murder and also killing Dr. Frankenstein's wife.
The two chase each other to the North Pole, where Dr. Frankenstein dies from cold and North Pole-y stuff, and the monster mourns his death and promises to kill himself so that no one will know of his existence. Classic movie plot is about Dr. Frankenstein creating a monster from body parts he's stolen, but he ends up taking a criminal's brain in this weird brain-dropping switcheroo thing, thus leading the monster to be inherently evil.
The Doc has his iconic hunchbacked assistant and shouts the most iconic line of the movie, "It's alive!" with a cinematic strike of lightning and boom of thunder.
Long story short, the monster is misunderstood, escapes the lab, kills a bunch of people, and a mob with angry torches comes after him, burning down the Windmill Laboratory Tower in which he was created and ultimately gets trapped. The first film adaptation of Frankenstein was a 1910 movie which was produced by Thomas Edison.
Homework. First of all, definitely read Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus, by Mary Shelley.
And while the 1931 movie isn't a straight adaptation, we'd highly recommend it.
You can definitely avoid 1994's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It pretty much follows the story of the book, except the doctor makes the dead wife his monster's lady friend, resulting in a really weird love triangle. Also, at one point, the doctor and monster wrestle half-naked in amniotic fluid.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's not ideal. The method of animating the creature is never discussed in Mary Shelley's novel. In the book, Frankenstein refuses to divulge how he did it, so no one can recreate his actions. The use of lightning to resurrect the monster has become the accepted methodology and appears in virtually every Frankenstein movie since the 1931 version.
What's your favorite modern use of the Frankenstein monster? Tell us in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe above for more episodes.
If you have any questions, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, or our website, geekcrashcourse.com.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on Geek Crash Course!
In order to take a nap, first you must film the rest of Geek Crash Course. Carl Sagan.